Olaf has at least been able to get some CS under the safety of his turret using that undertow.
Well, yeah, and you can see as well that, you know, Saint expects the tower dive here. He's waiting in that tri-brush near the lane because he expects the dive to happen, whether it's from the odd one or just from the two right there. You know, if they try to zone Westrice at his turret, he'll be fine here with the defense from Mundo.
And meanwhile, the first blood goes down as Elements just flashes in with that Hymn of Valor. The poke too strong in Curse's bottom lane, whittling Olaf down.
And I'm extremely impressed by that. Here comes actually a 2-on-3. Westrice going in for the stun, but here comes Odd One as here comes St. Vicious. The exhaust is on, but Westrice suddenly more than he'd bargained for. Leap strike and flash. That's actually going to be enough for him to get out.
Yeah, very well played there to turn that around by TSM, but also Westrice doing a great job of reading that situation, instantly reacting and getting out.
Yeah, it's really good, and of course the counter-strike being used as well, the stun, giving him a bit more time to survive that encounter. And of course he's got Summoner Teleport, so you can walk right back into one of those lanes at full health, get some new items, and just walk out happily. But I got to hand it to Curse overall. That was a really, really well-played job killing off Dyrus there. He went with Boots 3 potions. Cop spent his entire time at the turret just poking at Dyrus. And that's really one of the things that happens. If you push to a turret, you force your opponents to be in range of you if they want a last hit.
And look, we have Elements actually coming up in top and getting caught by Odd One as they are going to dive under the turret. Cop following up. Will they be able to get a kill out of this? Odd One is very low. Here he goes. Autos will take him down. There's the Mystic shot. X-Special coming in as well. They sent 3 tops, so Westrice is up there too. And there's the double kill for Cop. Chaos running through his life through Curse's jungle. Looks like he will fall in just a matter of seconds as Jackie loops around. They miss the Mystic shot. He's going to get hit by that Essence Flux, and that'll be a kill for Westrice. And now a good lead, 4-1 for Curse.
Would you look at that? Those early game plays, so amazing. And I completely chalked it up. I said that 2v1 was going to be better for solo mid. Turns out completely incorrect. I love that move that Odd One made, camping in that tri-brush, knowing the lane swap was going to come on back, knowing that they had pushed that turret so low that they could dive right afterwards. But all of Curse was ready for it anyway. Amazing play by them to turn that one around.
I mean, really, Odd One made the right call there. He couldn't have known that the AD carry support and Jax would be coming up into that top lane. It was a weird call by Curse, and Curse actually catching them out, and those mind games just doing work and getting them in the lead.
Yeah, it's a phenomenal play overall. And even though they're up in kills, they've only got a 700 gold lead because that mid lane and that top lane just completely out-farming here for solo mid.
Yeah, Westrice now returning to that bottom lane, but now we see TSM pulling the same trick. They do still want to go with this 2v1 situation, even though Westrice did manage to get a kill. He does have significantly less farm than Olaf, so the bad side about taking that those all 3 champions up top was it allowed a significant period of free farm for Olaf.
Yeah, and that's going to be really the big key here for solo mid is minion kills right now. These 2v1s are still going to be, you know, kills aside. As far as the matchup's concerned, it's still better for Team Solo Mid. Dyrus has ranged farming tools, and Westrice just simply does not. And so in every one of these situations, it'll be better for Solo Mid to be in these situations.
Yeah, and you know, I really have to say that this has also slowed down the early game presence for TSM. You're talking about you know, a team fight presence, but also with Maokai and Karthus, you have a great diving presence. But now that they're a bit behind in kills, it's going to be harder for them to get those picks under turrets.
Yeah, all they can really dive here is Westrice, and the thing is, they're sending Westrice right now to that top lane, and Westrice without a turret is going to be very, very easy to dive. He's still got a little bit of time before his flash comes back up. And, you know, he's waiting there for like one last ward. There we go. Finally comes out and leaves the fountain with that. And that ward's going to keep him alive because he's got to spot the odd one coming in. But the thing is, good luck running from an Olaf who's going to undertow you, catch the axe, and keep running at you. It's going to be very hard for Westrice to survive these situations. 2 levels down, 30 minions down. That one champion kill is not going to be enough to turn that around.
And the multiple switches that we've actually seen from TSM going into the 2v1 lanes, moving the AD support into bottom lane, it actually has allowed Dyrus to farm up even further ahead. He's now 51 to 21, 30 CS up on Westrice. So the constant swapping actually, in terms of CS, definitely working out in TSM's favor. And they're just chipping away at that gold lead. With that tower, even though they're down 3 kills, it's only a 600 gold lead for Curse.
And that's the champion comps. You've got Olaf, who's going to undertow and pick the axe back up. You've got Leona Sivir, who's going to throw out Zenith Blade with Boomerang Blade and completely wave clear. And that's the way to do it. When you're going for lane swaps, you want to just clear out the minion waves completely. And that way, you know, when you recall, they finally all come back to lane and you've missed out almost nothing. And it's just so easy for them to keep doing that over and over and over again that until Cop has finally hit level 6 and uses the True Shot Barrage, they don't have that same wave clearing potential. So yeah, these swaps always work for TSM.
I also like the way that we have Dyrus building here with the early Heart of Gold. Now we see Westrice using his very limited amount of money to get Doran's Blades. So not only does Dyrus have the CS advantage, but he's building in a way that will maximize his damage into the late game, while Westrice is using these Doran's Blades just to sit up top and farm. So he's not really gaining an advantage in terms of trades or anything aggressive that you might normally see with an early double Doran's build.
I think he's going to start now, though, now that they've actually finally stopped lane swapping and they went back to that one-on-one. You've seen Westrice completely catch back up in minions, and being a level 7 Jax, actually tying levels with Dyrus here and having that double Doran's Blade, he can actually push Dyrus around a little bit. Their gold's close enough, and he can actually start being really useful here in this matchup.
So we see Jackie, a little bit of a trade going on in mid lane. It's been very passive since that early excitement, and Curse now pulling ahead a little bit more with a lead up to about 1,100 gold. And as you were saying, that was the advantage that we saw with Curse Westrice catching back up a little bit to Dyrus.
Yeah, so that's going to be a huge deal, though. Again, anytime you run a team composition with a Jax there, as long as you didn't, just lose champion select automatically, you're relying on Jax to be a big factor of your team. And why the heck not? You've got a great team to support that. You've got, Ezreal on your team, whose Essence Flux gives you bonus attack speed. You've got Orianna on there with all the moves the ball does, whether it's the Command Protect or the Shockwave and Dissonance. You've got Sona in there for Crescendo. This team could easily be Protect the Jax, with Cop playing kind of the secondary carry here. And if Westrice has a good game, he'll completely win the game by himself. I'd say by himself, but of course supporting cast will be a huge factor. But that's a huge deal right here. They're relying on him for the damage output, and as long as he keeps having a good lane, as long as he keeps up in farm, he'll be on track.
Yeah, St. Vicious looking to do some early game ward clearing. If he ends up into that North River, he will find a couple wards from TSM, and that'll give Curse a temporary kind of sight advantage here on this map. Element's going to go ahead and plop down a ward near Dragon. Both teams still looking at that. We have a duel going down in top lane. Westrice actually doing quite a bit of damage to Dyrus. Dyrus having to back out, but he will get back to his turret with some safety. Counter-Strike's already been used, so no more stuns from that.
Yeah, that's going to keep being the situation over and over again, that, Heart of Gold Ninja Tabby, they don't protect all that well against Jax's damage. I mean, health is nice, of course, but you're not buying it for the stats. You're buying it for the gold generation. And Jax does so much magic damage, especially when you max Empower first, that the Ninja Tabby won't even defend that either. So once again, Westrice is going to have a really good time in that lane, and it is his job to keep bullying out Dyrus. I would expect to see him pull closer and closer in minions as time goes on.
And look at this tower will go down immediately in this bottom lane. Curse Cop slowly poking it down very safely, using a lot of that minion damage to make sure it got down while he did not take any kind of trade damage whatsoever. So he's going to go back now, and that'll again increase Curse's lead to a little over 2K.
And that's just huge, huge, huge. And they're going to go, again, Westrice with a nice bait right there, just getting, again, free damage onto Dyrus, waiting in the brush. Look at that, dropping him to half health the second he walks back in a lane. Now, Dyrus will still have an easy time last hitting, and he's got a Philosopher's Stone, but these kind of moves will be continually happening for Westrice.
Yeah, Westrice, unfortunately, with no mana, so those trades are going to be a little bit harder from this point out. But Curse having a nearly full HP turret down in this bottom lane. Chaos going to get a little bit of free farm while Cop heads back to pick up some items. Looks like he'll be going for a Phage into BF Sword. And he's already picked up a dagger as well, not building those Berserker's Greaves. So it seems to me he'll be farming for a little bit, not too worried about getting caught out anywhere or dealing with the lessened move speed in team fights.
Yeah, so one thing that actually just happened off camera there was Westrice actually teleported to that ward in the brush and tried to stun Xpecial with Counter-Strike. Xpecial had to burn Flash to get away from that one. So Westrice already feeling very confident on the map. 76 minion kills, has a Phage, going to be rushing that Trinity Force. And he'll be really effective overall, but he's starting to really exert himself on the map.
Dyrus taking a little bit of damage in return for getting that ward down. Saint will know it's there now. His team calling that ward, I'm sure. Saint's in the meantime just trying to farm up in top lane and popping his ult. Now we're going to have a Dragon fight here. TSM at Dragon. They're going to zone him out with Wall of Pain. Westrice having to get back, dodge those layways, jump to a ward. But this will be, looks like a free Dragon. Wait, there it goes. The combo with Shockwave and True Shot Barrage, but it won't be enough to kill the odd one. TSM picks up the Dragon, and we're back down to 1,000 gold lead for Curse.
Yep, Ogden low on health. Jack's not in the best place, really. Still getting completely zoned out by Reginald. And I got to give props to Reginald. He just straight up dueled the top laner and made him completely run away, which really stopped, Curse's chance at pincing, into that one. But however, by sending the jungler away, they've built themselves a really nice advantage in the mid lane. Look at that, Reginald immediately blowing up, and they've now found more damage for themselves. Especially not in the best place, but will it be enough? No one's going to drop from the Requiem. Would you look at that? A kill for nothing. They stopped the turret pressure, which is nice, but Cop got a free golem buff.
So the thing about Elements, a lot of players may not remember, but Elements used to be known really, really well for his Sona play, and that was just a beautiful crescendo and coordination under turret right there to pick up that kill on Reginald. And, people tend to think of him as a Blitzcrank or a Nunu player these days, but, man, he's always been an expert at Sona as well.
And the really good thing that he does here as well is he loves rushing that, or not rushing necessarily, but grabbing Chalice of Harmony in order to keep spamming out all of his abilities. And heck, he's against a lot of magic damage. He's fighting a Karthus. He's going to be in the fray at some point, so the magic resist helps, but it's really there to just spam his abilities out as much as possible. And off the back of him getting the first blood early on, him getting the gold pretends early on, he's got a gold lead over Special despite being down a dragon. He's able to kind of facilitate buying those items and then transitioning into the rest of that build.
Yeah, and the great thing about Sona, too, with the Chalice of Harmony is it not only can keep your team up and heal, but those pokes actually hurt quite a bit, even without any AP. You can see Hymn of Valor right now doing 200 damage, and so if you have a prolonged siege with an Orion and a Sona constantly putting out that poke damage, it can really wear you down.
Oh, absolutely, and that's going to be kind of their game plan here is to kind of force TSM to go in on them, because TSM has one strong initiation tool, and that is the ultimate from Leona. And as long as Curse is well positioned here and they don't get caught out by that too much, they're going to be in great shape. I don't think Cop's going to get caught. West Rice is highly mobile, and if he whiffs Leap Strike against Solar Flare, that's him being sleepy or something, because he should be able to do that at any time really. And Jackie should be too far away, and St. Vicious is on Dr. Mundo, so no one's going to really tank Solar Flare and care about it. So it's going to be hard for TSM to start the fights the way they want to. They've got to kind of barrel in and hope that they can get everyone stuck in inside of Karthus' Defile. And the thing is, Curse has a huge amount of crowd control. They can stop this.
And we actually see Chaos having to pop his ult there, and here comes St. Vicious running after him, hitting him with Cleaver after Cleaver. There's the Mystic Shot, and the Cleaver will finish him off. Curse, St. Vicious takes down Chaos' Sivir.
And that's just going to be more and more of a lead. Look at that. Let's look at Israel compared to Sivir here. So 3-0-3, of course, a huge score. War Minions as well, but he's got finished Berserker's Greaves, finished Bloodthirster, and a Phage. And KX hasn't even finished Bloodthirster yet. So this is a huge, huge difference in items here that's going to really set Curse apart. And this is much better than last time, where before it was Nightjackie getting fed with a couple of kills, and it allowed him to finish the Chalice of Harmony and then finish out the Athenes and Holy Grail. But that doesn't make him a carry, it just makes him useful. Well, here you've got a fed AD carry. Cop has a boatload of gold. He's going to keep putting the pressure here. And Curse, they've got an aggressive team. Saint can face tank turrets. Cop and Elements and Jackie from the back can keep putting out damage. And West Rice is going to keep growing as a result of being in this game. I really like Curse's chances here.
Oh, and here comes actually Special going in onto Jackie, and the crescendo, he's going to have to flash out in order to miss it. And there's the shockwave just going to blow up Special. Reginald now getting caught out. Elements doing a lot of damage. Nightjackie getting pinned inside the Defile. Here comes Requiem. Will it be enough? The answer is no. Jackie lives.
Oh, man, would you look at that great play overall. And I just want to point out, Elements low on mana. That Chalice helping him win that fight. It was absolutely the heal coming in, making things good. Now Dyrus running in completely 1-on-5. He will kill Jackie, and he might even get away with it. Would you believe that? Dyrus full on 1v5. 1v4. I don't know if Ezreal's actually there, but
that's the power of Ragnarok, wow. Man.
Yeah.
The end of days, it's coming for you.
It is. Jackie ran it. Actually, he missed his flash as well. I think he tried to flash the wall and whiffed it and stayed in place. And that was, yeah, Ghost Ragnarok, Ignite, just chops him down. Why not? Pick up free gold. It's just a cooldown.
So one thing that you were talking about earlier was that there are limited ways for TSM to engage with this team fight lineup.
Yeah.
And sometimes I want to point out that Curse really wants, we've seen Crescendo and Shockwave used very offensively in these last couple picks that Curse has done in mid lane. But really, in the team fight sense, with some comps, you want to use Crescendo to engage, you want to use Shockwave to engage, but in this sense, it's almost better to actually just throw the Protect onto like Mundo and wait for them to come at you and use the Crescendo to keep them off your carries so that nobody can get into that back line. Same thing with Crescendo. It's going to be used for that counter engage so that they can continue to kite backwards while killing the champions from TSM.
That's ultimately what Curse would like to have happen. They would love if TSM ran at them and they got amazing shockwaves and dissonances and Mundo was completely terrifying and then they couldn't ever touch Cop or Westrice. The thing is, that's very unlikely. TSM is not a team that's going to try to run into fights because they know they're behind. They know, yeah, their farm is really good, but like even Jackie got ahead of Reginald's Karthus and they know they're behind in turrets, they know they're behind in kills. So solomid, they're not likely to pick fights that aren't going to go their way, so you're not likely to get that counter engage really available for Curse. So Curse can have to make their own sort of funky, initiations, and there's going to be St. Vicious ulting and hoping they can land a shockwave. Otherwise, TSM are going to be happy to sort of let this game stall out. They've got Olaf on a solo lane. He's going to get farmed. They've got a Karthus, and they've got a Sivir. They're all going to scale amazingly throughout this game. TSM is happy to play a 45-minute game. Curse must keep making moves here.
Yeah, great point, Freak. And, as you're saying, Olaf and Karthus very, very strong into that late game. It's just the sheer amount of damage they can put out late. They need to get Chaos back in this game. He is slowly kind of crawling out of the hole that he fell into, picking up his CS, not too far down right now compared to Cop's Ezreal. A bit of a goal difference, though, mostly from global objectives right now.
Yeah, absolutely. It's Dragon's being picked up now. I think it's 1-for-1 though on that. But yeah, it's the +1 turret and it's all their kills, making it quite a bit of a lead here. The difficulty, I guess, is Curse doesn't have the best ways of creating action. All their initiations are very readable. I think everyone's played against Orianna enough, especially players like Team solomid, that they know when the ball's coming and they know what's going to happen. And the only easy shockwave targets are on melee range champions that have to kind of walk at you. I mean, Westrice can maybe leap strike flash, but that's a bit difficult. And St. Vicious doesn't even have flash. He's going to just simply walk at you, and he's going to take a wall of pain to the face and not get to initiate very much. So all of Curse's initiations are very, very readable. And so TSM, I mean, if they make no mistakes, they can really kind of keep themselves from being jumped on. But what I see Curse doing most successfully is completely sweeping out every ward on the map and starting to pressure red and blue buff and starting to pressure Dragon as they have been, and maybe pull even a CLG versus Team WE where they kill 80 wards and start a Baron buff.
Yeah, that's a great point. And St. Vicious has actually had an early Oracle and has been doing a wonderful job of sweeping the map and keeping that map presence and map vision up for Curse this entire game. They do have one ward, TSM. Oh, wow, there's the initiation. Solar Flare going to airball it, so nothing there. Now, Westrice going to leap strike over the wall onto On1. There it is. He flashed over. Now the leak strike coming out. On1 gets exhausted. That will be the end of Maokai. St. Vicious now rolling back out, and here comes the ult from Karthus. He went down there, and looks like we have Nijaki and Elements dead, and Dyrus now chasing Westrice down. Leap strikes out of the way. Undertow picks him up. Couldn't quite dodge that one, but Saint looks like he will get out scot-free. Now 3-2 in favor of TSM in that team fight, and they're starting to come back, Freak.
They are, but at the same time, that was a full-on 4v5 where they lost the first 2 kills, and then KX played cleanup mode. But Cop, I wouldn't say it was necessarily the best call for Curse, but he did get a free turret out of it and a lot of farm. So he is still going to be a huge threat, but the difficulty was he was just nowhere to be seen in that battle. If that was a 5-on-5, you would have seen Curse win that team fight 4-0 with no issues. Because there's no way that Chaos could sit there diving Jackie and diving Elements without Cop having something to say about it. Now, I don't think that was the best option really for Curse to trade, -1 kill for a turret. It's still an advantage, but those kills went to Chaos and Dyrus. You don't want to give kills to the carries that you've shut down early on just to get a turret out of it. So I think Curse really kind of wants to fight 5-on-5s a bit more.
Yeah, and we actually see Randuin's Omen now being picked up for Dyrus, trying to slow down the attack speed of that Jax jumping into the lines. Unlikely he's going to be able to hit Cop's Ezreal with it, but definitely for use on Jax and a little bit on Mundo.
I think he's still going to... I would think that he would still try to dive Cop, make him run away. He's got enough armor that he can simply run at it. Because if he sits there swinging on Westrice, Westrice is going to just try to ignore him and still try to kill a really important target like KX or Reginald and then move on from there. if Cop gets to sit there and attack Reginald for free from the back lines, like Dyrus has to sit there and face tank Mystic shots or Reginald dies immediately. And they can't let Reginald die immediately. They need him to survive the first few seconds of the fight and get more defile out and get a couple more layaways, because that's really where I think most of their damage is still going to come from him just right now.
So Curse St. Vicious going to make a circle around the Baron pit. He is going to find the ward that TSM has there, so it'll be lights out on Baron for TSM. Element's going to go ahead, and we might see the Curse Baron dance starting somewhat soon. They're going to look to try and take down this turret. There it'll go down. So a pretty comfortable 6,000 gold lead here in the middle of the 23rd minute.
Yeah, this is going really, really well. Curse is making the right moves. You know, just like the last game, I feel like, you know, they don't quite have that Najin Sword, like, kill move where they just kind of close the game out in 21 minutes, you know, with like a 15-1 score. But they're absolutely making, generally speaking, very, very good plays. They are putting the pressure on. They are up that 5,000 gold. You know, they do still have that 5-kill lead, and they are really crushing the turrets down 4-1. So they're making a lot of good moves, but I just fear for them because that late game, again, there's just so much potential there with Olaf, Sivert, and Karthus that just, you know, for any of the Curse fans out there, you really want them to put more pressure on very, very soon.
Yeah, X Special actually has run out of wards. Oh, there's the last one coming down right now, and that'll be easily cleared out. St. Vicious knows it's there. Going to be safely taken out by Cop. They have a vision ward, interestingly, on Baron as well. So there comes the Undertow checking that Baron from Dyrus. He's not going to be able to get anything. They keep warding up here in this Tribe Rush. They're trying to keep this vision, but Saint so far has cleared like 6 or 7 wards in the last couple minutes.
Oh, yeah, it's really, really good for him. And now TSM making a great move, pushing down that mid lane. Jackie almost getting caught by that stun. The Shockwave comes out. Can he put any more damage on a Reginald? Is anyone going to get caught here?
No, it doesn't look like it. And here comes the port from Restrice into mid lane. Bit of extra poke going down on Chaos. He's just going to back out and run away. What is going to happen here? They're going to clear out the ward.
TSM's got no health.
TSM has no health. And are they going to force a Baron more and more? Look how many wards Curse has on the side of the map by Baron. It's like 5. So they do have tons of vision. Dyrus checking in with Undertow again. This is the deadly Curse dance. Like, this is where they can lose games. Like we saw them last time with Dragon. They've had a lot of vision. They poked down a lot of TSM's champions, and they probably could have made a strong attempt on Baron already.
Yeah, Special's ultimate's coming up before too terribly long. He's only got 24 seconds to wait till Solar Flare's back up. That'll be in time for that team fight. Jackie's grabbing Golem buff, and that's all well and fine. But all the cooldown's going to be back. TSM now back with full health. Everyone's just there and ready to fight again. That really was a chance for Curse to just make a move there.
Even if they didn't have to finish Baron, they could have at least baited it and picked up a couple kills.
Absolutely. They're a little bit afraid here. It looked a lot like that Dragon fight in Game 1 where, you know, they kind of stopped killing it, and Westrice was like, well, I've got to defend this top turret, and they didn't just sort of say, no, you know what, 5 men strong, let's just kill Dragon, and if someone shows up, just jump on him. And they're not doing that. You know, they had a full 5-on-4 with no Solar Flare even remotely available. You know, they could have trusted St. Vicious's Smite. He's 3 levels up. His Smite's going to do more damage. His ability to burst that down is going to be higher. There's a million forms of crowd control here on Curse, especially as a counter-initiate. It would have been great for him.
Yeah, they are going to pick up that Dragon. Meanwhile, we see some trades going down. It was Westrice will get the better end of that deal up in top lane. Dyrus having to roll back down his own lane, but it looks like we have Chaos just going to go ahead and farm. Cop soloing Dragon, picking that up, and that's going to increase the lead even further, about 7K now for Curse. X Special now setting up wards in their own jungle again, and we're going to have to see the same kind of behavior. And it looks like we have some action going down. They're going to try and kill Dyrus. Dyrus has busted Ragnarok. He's getting chased, though, but they're going to be dissuaded by Requiem, and now we see TSM coming in. X Special chasing St. Vicious down the lane. Oracle goes down. St. Vicious is dead. Chaos now chasing Elements, flashes the wall, and he'll get out along with, oh wow, looks like Cop is getting zoned out. Jackie and Cop have come in, but here comes Reginald flashing on top. Shockwave pulling him back, and Jackie will escape that defile now. Curse, Cop, and Westrice doing work on Chaos and on one. Going to pick up 2 kills there. Really nice work by Westrice to loop back around and secure those kills for Curse.
And that was him showing up that made that fight happen. You got to give props to Westrice being in the right place at the right time, because, oh man, did Curse get caught out there. It was another example of Cop and Jackie not being anywhere near the team. TSM already ready to collapse on that one, making it a 5-on-3. But everyone else did show up in time. Cop with good Spidey sense, jumping over the Baron pit, running straight down, getting the call over to Westrice to say, dude, I need you, make this 200 going to happen. And that is Fed Cop being Fed Cop. He completely outdueled Sivir there.
Yeah, Fat Cop getting big in this game.
Yeah, and that's what they're going to rely on here. I mean, West Rice now is ahead of Dyrus on minion kills. He's got that Trinity Force done. He's working on his Guardian Angel next, so West Rice is exactly where he wants to be. The game has worked out in his favor overall. Though the level 1 was a bit risky for him, he's now gotten where he needs to be. Cop's exactly where he wants to be as well, and Jackie's had a pretty decent game for himself. So, you know, it's weird because I feel like I'm harping on Curse for not closing the game out, but they've made consistently good moves. They've every single time, you know, we'll pick up a dragon, we'll pick up a kill, we'll win this fight, we'll pick up a turret. They are consistently growing their lead this game without any major missteps. I just know it's you know, Curse is a team that occasionally makes that one misstep. They've got to make sure they keep doing this.
Yeah, West Rice now catching out Reginald, having to have Chaos come in. Did blow the exhaust on West Rice, but West Rice going to have to flash to get out of that one. Looks like Reginald quite low is going to have to blue pill and head back to base. This may be the window that Curse needs to make something happen. We do have Requiem down for a little bit longer, so he's got no presence right now back from base. Dyrus is going to keep on farming up in that top lane. In the meantime, we do have Elements, Jackie, and Cop putting some pressure onto mid, trying to get some damage with that Ezreal with Trinity Force and Bloodthirst. They're going to be able to chunk down the turret quite quickly.
And this is actually interesting because this is Curse playing a very, I would say, very safe game, that they're not trying to get into these crazy 5-on-5s where they could get the game turned around. They're using that teleport Jax to split push off to the side while the rest of their team pushes elsewhere. And you know, as long as they're making the calls right and they're ready to run together, just like that last fight where they finally collapsed as 5, Curse can keep this game going. Only Maokai and Leona can stop Jax from teleporting away. And plus, if Jax just turns on that Counter-Strike, he can kind of keep himself from dying as well. Now here with his teleport almost up, they'll see if they can pull this fight together. Reginald has Requiem though.
And here it comes, Requiem just being used to push a Curse off of Baron. So that's the bait, but it may not be the bait they wanted, as TSM looks like they're going to be going in right now. Maybe they'll try a counter Baron now that we've got all the members of Curse at about 50% HP. And West Rice in bottom lane, his teleport is up, so this split push is viable.
Yeah, and they've got Chalice Sona. This is the perfect play for Curse. They're making really, really good tactical decisions here. And you even saw, like, Jackie put the shield onto St. Vicious because, you know, they knew that, you know, he could just tank it out. You know, the shield would kind of block everything. You know, Elements heals himself every time he uses Aria of Perseverance, so they don't need to shield him for damage if he won't die, because he'll get back to full health anyway with that Chalice. He's perfectly fine here like this.
Also, the Boots of Lucidity doing work with the spam as well.
Yeah, exactly. He's got pretty much max cooldown reduction here, especially once he finishes the Shirelia's Reverie here. He's going to have you know, a really good time of this. And he's going to keep healing his team up, and they're going to keep being very, very happy with all this, and Jax will keep split pushing. And when his teleport is up, Reginald must join his team. They can't just phone in with Requiem. They've got to make it a 5-on-5.
And there's the finished Guardian Angel for West Rice. Curse now in a very commanding position. Jax just going to continue to be doing work on the team of solomid. So we'll see how this plays out now, if they're going to continue just this Baron zoning and the constant ward killing. After the Oracle went down on St. Vicious, Elements picked one up himself and has been slowly sweeping up near Baron. The only team that has vision of Baron right now is TSM. No wards up there, but Elements just picked up 8 more wards after going back.
Yeah, and that's going to be really that gameplay, right? They've got to make sure that, you know, I think both teams know really that Baron is the major objective here on the map. Curse did an amazing job of killing all the secondary turrets here. You know, I still counted it a misplay, but, you know, Cop got that secondary right-hand turret way back when they had that sort of 4-on-5 team fight, you know, 15 minutes ago or so. They got the middle turret when they had West Rice split push in the bottom lane. Now, the difficulty, though, is they can't split push top while tempting Baron. There's no way that any team's going to, you know, get outmaneuvered there like that. So that top turret's going to be hard to kill. But Reginald getting caught out on the right-hand side of the map. West Rice in a full 1-on-3, though. Special and Odd One are here trying to put the damage out. The Requiem as well. But the rest of TSM not ready to stop this Baron attempt. And West Rice just teleports back into it.
And here they are. They're committed to this Baron right now. We have the members of TSM slowly making a train back up to the pit, but it's too late. Baron has died. Here comes Dyrus. And even though he ults and the crescendo misses, now we have the command dissonance speeding up Curse. Will they be able to make anything happen? No, looks like they're going to be too far behind, but here comes the pressure. And, you know, Freak constantly having West Rice split push, that bottom lane was such a thorn in TSM's side. They eventually had to do something about it. If you were watching that last play, you saw that Cop and Jackie were pushing mid lane. You saw St. Vicious top and Westrice in bottom lane just creating immense map pressure through pushing these lanes because they couldn't go anywhere. Meanwhile, Elements was just slowly sweeping out wards in the Baron pit in between and in the river in between top and mid lane. So really great map control there by Curse to make that happen and set it up.
Yep, that star. I mean, honestly, I got to give star player here to Westrice because he's the guy who gets to be the playmaker here for Curse. He is strong enough that he is out-dueling anyone on Team solomid. You've seen him fight Dyrus like 5 times now and win every single time. You just saw Reginald get decked by him in a one-on-one and pull 2 teammates over to defend that. And that was, I mean, immediate free Baron as a result. And then Westrice just simply teleported after the team to make sure it wasn't, you know, a silly 4-on-4 where they got caught out and someone died. So it's Westrice. Honestly, he got the situations he wanted. That double Doran's Blade, you know, he got that solo lane as he wanted it, was able to out-duel Dyrus from minute 5, basically, and grow himself in this game. And Cop had a better lane than Chaos and grow himself as well. None of these solos, none of the carries, really, from Team solomid were ever able to out-duel their counterparts. And when you run a team with teleport, all you want to do is out-duel your counterparts.
Yeah, and now we're going to be seeing what Curse's plan is. They're going to sweep the jungle for buffs. Blue buff is up on TSM's side of the map, so that'll be quickly given to Jackie's Orianna. And looks like we're going to see a push down at bottom here after they've already taken out that central inhibitor.
Yeah, it's going to be the best play for them. They've already killed that top one a little while ago, or sorry, the top secondary turret a little while ago. So this is really their big move here. And again, it's going to be difficult to completely start the fight. Well, they are up 13,000 gold. They might even just tower dive just because they've got enough durability to do it, but that's a risky play if they go for it.
Yeah, you can see a great wall of pain there, kind of zoning them out. Looks like Curse Cop is going to be hit by it, get his MR shredded a bit, but it won't really matter as that turret is going to go down quite quickly. They're on to the inhibitor, and there's going to be nobody from TSM to stop them. Chaos has picked up GA as well, in addition to the Bloodthirster, Phantom Dancer, but I don't think he's going to be coming up again. Cop also with the GA at this point.
Yeah, but he's up a Last Whisper and a Trinity Force instead of a Phantom Dancer. So Cop's is going to be doing a lot more damage in these fights overall. That Last Whisper especially really helping him cut through Dyrus's Randuin's Omen plus Ninja Tabby. He's going to be, you know, he's really going to be the biggest damage threat here. And again, Curse can simply just rush in, whether it's Dr. Mundo or Jax. They've both got over, you know, 100-something armor. You've got 193 on Jax, 259 on Dr. Mundo. Any of them can dive forward.
And there comes the Solar Flare. That's really just to dissuade them. Doesn't do much. Now the Leonos is down. What a shockwave onto Reginald. He will just melt. Westrice jumping in, trying to take out X Special. There, X Special goes down. Double kill for Jackie as the team rushes on. Requiem doing not much. Westrice getting low, but the Command Protect will go on to him, and now the heals from Sona get him out, and that'll be game. Curse and TSM tied 1-1 after the surrender.
That is amazing, amazing play by Team Curse. All of them really performing to their maximum potential this whole game. You know, we've seen now both games in this series really cool, really clever early game strategies here. They've started out